Good morning, everybody. Robin Burning here with Blissful Healing Spiritual Life Coaching. We're on day 84, and it's page 202 of our spiritual playbook. Today's going to be like the actual thing is a little longer, so I'm definitely reading it, and then we're going to go into a little bit of explanation. It says, today I will look at my life and see if there is a time when I have allowed someone else to influence me to act or live in a way that is not true to how I feel. I will decide if I want that to continue with clear, conscious choice, or I will decide to change it in a kind and loving way. So when I read this, it reminded me of my 12-step program. And in the fourth step, what we do is we evaluate our circumstances and see what our part in them was. Okay. And when I was doing my first fourth step, because we do kind of reevaluate through our lives, when I was doing it for the first time, and when my husband and I first got sober, we really were kind of like, we had a lot of resentments towards each other. And in doing that fourth step and breaking it down, I could see what my part was in that. And my part is that I did allow certain behaviors to become the norm because I chose not to stand in my power from the beginning. So an example might be, if I was having a conversation and I just didn't want to argue, I would just say, fine, that's fine. When it really wasn't fine. I was just trying to avoid an argument. So one might say that's out of fear of an argument. So I just made a decision based on fear. Okay. However, over time, if I keep giving in and not standing in my power over something that was important to me, then I'm giving my power over to my husband in this circumstance. So when he was doing his fourth step, I'm doing my fourth step. We're both just kind of evaluating what our parts were. When I told him that I had some resentments over certain things, he was like dumbfounded because he didn't realize he was upsetting me because I had allowed that to become the norm. Okay. But at the same time, I didn't really even realize I was doing it. Okay. I didn't. And so that's where kind of evaluating and thinking about if you're having a resentment towards somebody or a challenge, you can think about what was my part in it. There's always two parts. There's always two people in any situation, right? So you can think to yourself, what was my part in it? And is my part that I allowed this person to influence my situation because of a decision that I made? And I really had to look at that. And when I did, it allowed me to forgive him, and forgiveness is very powerful. And it allowed me to then be consciously aware, because I didn't even realize that I was doing it. So I became consciously aware that I wasn't standing in my truth from the beginning. And I do that now, even if it's hard, because in hindsight, it's always great to go back and look, because it's harder to unravel something that you have allowed to happen than it is hard to just from the very start stand in your truth. And when we stand in our truth from the very start, we are authentic. We are standing in our divinity. And we are our true, authentic selves. And there's nothing more powerful than that. Okay? So when we look at our life and see if there's a time when we've allowed someone else to influence us to act or live a way that is not true to how we feel, we will decide if we want to continue with a clear, conscious choice or decide to change it in a kind, loving way. And that is possible. If you do need help with that, that is something that I do specialize in. And that's what coaching is all about. Coaching is all about being able to stand in your authentic self. Sometimes we dig ourselves into the well. Have you ever heard that, that riddle? Like, the man is in the bottom of the well and then somebody keeps throwing dirt on him and they're like, how do you get out of the well? You brush the dirt off your shoulders and then you step up. Brush the dirt off and then you step up. So this is how you can decide to make changes in a kind, loving way. I can help you through that kind of stuff. So this is a great day for us to reflect and evaluate. So if you're in a situation where you are uncomfortable, have a resentment, or asking yourself, how did I get here? Ask yourself, did you make a decision based on fear or convenience or not standing in your truth for whatever reason that allowed somebody else to influence you? And if you want to change that, we can change it. Okay? So I love the side note today. It says, are you the boss of you? No? Well, now it might be a good time to reevaluate and give yourself a promotion and a raise. I know you deserve it. Kindness begins with you. Be kind to you, love you, choose you. You're number one. Yes. All right, guys, have a beautiful day.